The race session is at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca in Monterrey, USA. Martijn Mol from Netherlands is first. Daniel Handke from Germany is second. Eric Boma from Germany is P3. Dominic Singendonk from Netherlands is P4. Attila Ksanyi from Hungary is 5th. Rene Robertson from England is P6. Zsolt Ksanyi from Hungary is 7th. John Astrup from New Zealand is 8th. Glenn Field from United Kingdom is P9. Brian Patterson from Scotland is 10th. Dominic Faubourg from United Kingdom is 11th. Marcus Singendonk from Netherlands is 12th. Martijn Mol is P1. "30 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. John Astrup is P8. Brian Patterson in Andretti hairpin is 10th. Brian Patterson passed John Astrup for P9. Daniel Handke is second. Eric Boma in turn 5 is third. Rene Robertson in Rahal Straight is P7. Glenn Field is 6th. John Astrup in turn 10 is P9. Rene Robertson is P3, 0.2 ahead of Zsolt Ksanyi. Marcus Singendonk entering the pits is P12. John Astrup in Andretti hairpin is P9, 0.4 behind Dominic Singendonk. Attila Ksanyi is second, 0.4 behind Eric Boma. Marcus Singendonk exiting pits. Rene Robertson in turn 6 is third. Best lap is a 1:47.032. POINT 909 off the fastest lap. Daniel Handke in the corkscrew is P7, 0.4 ahead of Dominic Singendonk. Dominic Sinjendonk in turn 10 is P8, 0.5 behind Daniel Handke. John Astrup is 9, 0.4 behind Dominic Sinjendonk. Martijn Mol is P11, 0.4 behind Brian Patterson. Rene Robertson in turn 4 is third, 0.1 behind Adelak Sanyi. Rene Robertson passed Adelak Sanyi for P2. Adelak Sanyi is P3, 0.2 behind Rene Robertson. Glenfield in the corkscrew on lap 3 is P5, 0.2 behind Adelak Sanyi. Daniel Handke from Germany in turn 10 is P6, 0.2 behind Glenfield. Dominic Sinjendonk is P8, 0.3 behind Dominic Favard. 25 minutes remaining in the session. Martijn Mol is P11, 0.3 behind Brian Patterson. Daniel Handke on lap 4 is 6th, 0.1 behind Glenfield. Dominic Favard in turn 5 is 8th, 0.2 ahead of John Astrup. John Astrup in Rahal Straight is 9, 0.3 behind Dominic Favard. Daniel Handke in Rainy Curve is P6, 0.4 behind Glenfield. Dominic Sinjendonk in turn 11 is 7th. John Astrup is 9th, 0.2 behind Dominic Favard. Martijn Mol in Andretti Hairpin is 11th, 0.4 behind Brian Patterson. John Astrup is 9th, 0.1 behind Dominic Favard. John Astrup passed Dominic Favard for 8th. Dominic Favard from United Kingdom is 9th, 0.2 behind John Astrup. Martijn Mol in Rahal Straight is P11, 0.3 behind Brian Patterson. Dominic Sinjendonk in turn 10 is 7th, 0.3 behind Glenfield. Martage Mole in turn 11 is P11, 0.5 behind Brian Patterson. Dominic Singendonk in Andretti hairpin is P7, 0.4 behind Glenfield. Martage Mole is 11, 0.6 behind Brian Patterson. Dominic Singendonk is P11, 0.2 behind Martage Mole. John Astrop is 7th, 0.4 behind Glenfield. Dominic Singendonk in turn 10 is 10th, 0.4 behind Martage Mole. John Astrop is 7th, 0.3 behind Glenfield. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Dominic Singendonk in Andretti hairpin is P10, 0.5 behind Martage Mole. John Astrop from New Zealand in turn 5 is 7th, 0.5 behind Glenfield. Rene Robertson in Rene curve is P2, 0.7 behind Eric Bowman. John Astrop in turn 10 is P7, 0.4 behind Glenfield. John Astrop passed Glenfield for 6th. Dominic Bobart is 8th, 0.3 behind Glenfield. Rene Robertson from England in turn 3 is P2, 0.5 behind Eric Bowman. Dominic Bobart on lap 8 is P8, 0.3 behind Glenfield. Rene Robertson in turn 6 is 2nd, 0.5 behind Eric Bowman. Dominic Bobart from United Kingdom in Rahal Straight is 8th, 0.3 behind Glenfield. Dominic Bobart was 0.9 faster last lap. Dominic Singendonk in turn 10 is P10, 0.9 behind Martage Mole. Martage Mole is 9, 0.4 behind Dominic Bobart. Daniel Handke is 4th, 0.7 behind Adalak Sanyi. Mardij Mol in turn 5 is P9, 0.5 behind Dominic Favard. Daniel Handke in the corkscrew is P4, 0.4 behind Adalak Sanyi. John Astrop in turn 11 is 6th, 0.6 behind Schulk Sanyi. Dominic Favard is 8th, 0.4 behind Glenfield. John Astrop from New Zealand in turn 3 is P6, 0.5 behind Schulk Sanyi. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Schulk Sanyi is 6th, 0.5 behind John Astrop. John Astrop was 1.3 faster last lap. Glenfield in turn 5 is 8th battling Dominic Favard. Dominic Favard was 0.8 faster last lap. Glenfield passed Dominic Favard for 7th. Dominic Favard in Rahal Straight is P8. Best lap is a 1:35.318. 1.591 off the fastest lap. Dominic Favard passed Glenfield for P7. Glenfield in Rene curve is P8, 0.3 ahead of Dominic Sinjendonk. Dominic Sinjendonk was 0.8 faster last lap. Mardij Mol in turn 11 is P10. Mardij Mol passed Glenfield for P9. Daniel Handke in turn 3 is 4th, 0.5 behind Adalak Sanyi. Glenfield entering the pits is 1st. Dominic Sinjendonk in turn 3 is 9th, 0.3 behind Dominic Favard. Daniel Handke from Germany in turn 6 is 5th, 0.2 behind Adalak Sanyi. Dominic Sinjendonk from Netherlands is 10th, 0.5 behind Mardij Mol. Daniel Handke in turn 10 is P5, 0.4 behind Adalak Sanyi. Daniel Handke is now 4th. Dominic Sinjendonk from Netherlands is 10th, 0.5 behind Mardij Mol. Dominic Sinjendonk is now 9th. Adalak Sanyi in turn 3 is P4 battling Daniel Handke. Mardij Mol is 8th, 0.4 ahead of Dominic Sinjendonk. Dominic Sinjendonk from Netherlands is P9, 0.5 behind Martijn Mol. Martijn Mol was 0.6 faster last lap. Daniel Handke in the corkscrew is P4, 0.1 behind Adelak Sanyi. Daniel Handke passed Adelak Sanyi for third. Dominic Sinjendonk in the corkscrew is P9, 0.3 behind Martijn Mol. Martijn Mol in turn 10 is 8th, 0.5 ahead of Dominic Sinjendonk. Rene Robertson in turn 4 is second, 0.7 behind Eric Boma. Martijn Mol in turn 3 is 8th, 0.4 ahead of Dominic Sinjendonk. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Dominic Sinjendonk in turn 5 is 9th, 0.5 behind Martijn Mol. Martijn Mol in Rahal Straight is P8 battling Dominic Faubourg. Martijn Mol passed Dominic Faubourg for P7. Martijn Mol is now P9. Dominic Faubourg in Rene curve is P9, 0.2 behind Martijn Mol. Brian Patterson in turn 11 is P10, 0.5 behind Dominic Faubourg. Dominic Faubourg is 9th, 0.5 behind Martijn Mol. Brian Patterson in turn 3 is 10th, 0.4 behind Dominic Faubourg. Rene Robertson in the corkscrew is second, 0.5 behind Eric Boma. Brian Patterson in Rahal Straight is P10, 0.3 behind Dominic Faubourg. Adelak Sanyi is P4, 0.9 behind Daniel Handke. Dominic Faubourg is 9th battling Dominic Sinjendonk. Dominic Faubourg passed Dominic Sinjendonk for P8. Brian Patterson in Andretti hairpin is 9th, 0.3 behind Dominic Faubourg. Dominic Sinjendonk entering the pits is first. Adelak Sanyi from Hungary in Rahal Straight is 5th, 0.5 behind Daniel Handke. Brian Patterson in turn 6 is P10, 0.4 behind Dominic Faubourg. Adelak Sanye is 4th, 0.5 behind Daniel Handke. Brian Patterson in turn 11 is 10th. Brian Patterson is now 8th. Dominic Faubourg in Andretti hairpin is 9th, 0.1 behind Brian Patterson. Dominic Faubourg passed Brian Patterson for 8th. Brian Patterson in turn 3 on lap 16 is 9th, 0.5 behind Dominic Faubourg. Five minutes remaining in the session. Rene Robertson in the corkscrew is P2, 0.2 behind Eric Boma. Brian Patterson in Rahal Straight is P9, 0.3 behind Dominic Faubourg. Rene Robertson is 2nd, 0.2 behind Eric Boma. Brian Patterson in turn 11 on lap 16 is 9th, 0.4 behind Dominic Faubourg. Brian Patterson passed Dominic Faubourg for P8. Rene Robertson on lap 17 is 2nd, 0.2 behind Eric Boma. Brian Patterson from Scotland in turn 3 is P9, 0.5 behind Dominic Faubourg. Rene Robertson in the corkscrew is P2, 0.4 behind Eric Boma. Brian Patterson in turn 6 is 9th, 0.2 behind Dominic Faubourg. Brian Patterson passed Dominic Faubourg for P8. Rene Robertson from England is 2nd, 0.5 behind Eric Boma. Dominic Faubourg in turn 11 is P9, 1.8 behind Brian Patterson. Rene Robertson in turn 5 is P2, 0.2 behind Eric Boma. John Astrup in Rahal Straight is 5th, 1.7 behind Adelak Sanye. Rene Robertson in turn 10 on lap 18 is P2, 0.2 behind Eric Boma. Daniel Handke in Andretti hairpin is P3, 1.3 behind Rene Robertson. Daniel Handke was 1.1 faster last lap. Rene Robertson is P2, 0.3 behind Eric Boma. Eric Boma from Germany in turn 5 is P2, 0.1 behind Rene Robertson. Daniel Handke in Rahal straight is P3, 0.3 behind Eric Boma. Eric Boma is second, 0.4 ahead of Daniel Handke. Daniel Handke is third, 0.3 behind Eric Boma. Eric Boma is second. Best lap is a 1:34.089. Point 362 off the fastest lap. Daniel Handke on lap 20 is P3, 0.4 behind Eric Boma. Eric Boma in turn 5 is P2, 0.4 ahead of Daniel Handke. Daniel Handke in Rahal straight is P3, 0.4 behind Eric Boma. The leader has just finished the race. Rene Robertson finished first. Eric Boma finished second. Daniel Handke finished P3. Adalak Sanyé finished P4. John Astrup finished P5. Schulk Sanyé finished P6. Martijn Mol finished 7th. Brian Patterson finished 8th. Dominic Faubart finished 9th.